Okay. All right, guys. Look, hey, I'm sorry for the late response there, and everything. I've been working on some stuff and trying to get things going smoothly. And let me just say I appreciate you guys being patient, and thanks for the guys who are here right now. Let me stop that because you know what, you don't need to hear that. That, by the way, is a song that I produced when I was thinking I was gonna be a rapper. I was laugh if you want to, but I was this close to having a deal in France a while ago, man, back in my rapping days. So that was a song. The song is called "Oh," and it was me, Droop Dizzle from Houston. If you're from Houston, you might know who Droop Dizzle is. And my stage name was Cristal. So yeah, man, that's something I don't think I've ever shared that with anybody especially right here on the channel, man. I don't think I've ever shared that. But like I said, hey man, prepare yourself, guys. This is talking to the medias with Chris Fagan. I got my notes here, man. I'm trying to do better. And this is episode 120. This is Reaction Wednesday. And so prepare yourself. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about what happened with Iran. I'm going to be going over some reactions. This is Reaction Wednesday, so I'm going to react to a couple of things. The Boy trailer, I'm going to do that later. I'm going to do a reaction to the whole Collider thing. Now, the Collider thing that's been going on for the whole week, it's been making my channel blow up. And that's been kind of fun. And I hope the stream is going well. I'm experimenting with a lot of stuff. I've been, a lot of alcohol, really. So I gave a shout out to a couple of people. I'll get into that later. For the new setup and the new direction that I'm going to be going, some inspiration, but I'll get into that a little bit later. But first, let me first start off by saying first I need to remind you, please become a subscriber if you haven't become a subscriber already. Hit the like button because that helps, and share with as many people as you can. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So. This is, like I said, this is episode 120 of Talking Through the Medias with Chris Fagan. And oh man, first and foremost, the whole thing with Iran. Now, I'm not going to get all political and whatnot. I mean, hey, you call me a social justice warrior, you call me a liberal, whatever you want. I don't give a damn. That's what I am. But as far when I do these shows, I'm going to try to stay right down the middle because I can, like I said before, I can be very conservative on a lot of things. Try to touch my daughter. See the Texas conservative come out of me real fast. Um, but what happened recently in the political field with the bombing in Iran, it freaked me out because let's say Trump would have been president about 10 or more years ago and did what he did with assassinating old dude, the general from Iran, and then Rian retaliates. Then Iran retaliates, right? And they bomb, and it freaked me out because I'm watching the news, and this is why it freaked me out because it said they dropped 10 to 12 bombs in Al Assad. Now, you guys might not know this about me. Besides the fact that intro music that I do, that's me rapping. But I used to live there in Iran. No, I'm not Iraqi. No, I'm not an Iranian. No, I'm not. I am American, but I was a contractor for the United States Army. I was for the Tuskegee Airmen, really. Now, don't be racist. Don't be racist, man. It was just the place I was stationed in that base. Now, the base that was taken back then from Saddam Hussein was an airport, a base called in Al Assad. It was an airport base in the army. They took that shit. They took it, and that's where I was. It was like a 17-mile perimeter, very secure. I was scared to death when I first went out there, but when I a couple of months in, it was home for 6 years. For 6 years, Iraq was my home. It was we call it like Texas too. It felt like I was still here in Texas because the people that were around me. There was some good people out there. There was some assholes, but there were overall some great people. And I I've had my close calls with death over there. So when the news said Al Assad, which is like 30 minutes from Baghdad, was hit by plane, was hit, it was just gave me some flashbacks, man. I was like, damn, dude. So here's a story that happened. The first time that I seen some incoming fire attack, which is what happens when a bomb hit on that base back, and I don't know who's operating it right now. I think there's still some military out there, but I heard the local nationals are mostly there right now. But when I was there, it would be like, this is the command post. This is the command post. There's been an indirect fire attack, and what would and like guys, let me know if you're watching this. Let me know if it's grainy or if you can't hear me or something. Type it into the chat. Um, but for the most part, I'm just gonna assume that you can hear that you can hear. So I was getting laundry. It was my first time doing my laundry. Right there was a trailer we would have to go to, we turn our bag of clothes in, get a ticket, and all that stuff. It was the beginning stages of what was going on out there. So the rules were every time there was an indirect fire attack out there in Iraq, everything had to shut down. An alarm would go off, and when that alarm went off, everything was shut down. If you were in the DFAC, the dining facilities, or whatever you were, you have to stop everything, get against the wall, get in a bunker, wherever is designated and safe, and all functions have to stop. So I'm standing in line and outside in front of this trailer little setup, and the guy inside, he's at the door, the entrance of like imagine a trailer home, a trailer park, and he's at the entrance door, and that's like his desk area. And then the rest of the trailer is where he has all the clothes and stuff. He takes a bag of clothes, he writes you a ticket, and then come back in 3 days and you get your clothes back. And you do like a rotation, like weekly thing, right? And this was my the second time I think using it before they evolved it into a more functional system, like a real laundromat that you pay for out here. So, or dry cleaning. So I'm standing in line. I'm like the second or third person in line, right? I got my duffel bag over on my shoulder. I'm like waiting, because I'm hungry. I'm about to go to the dining facility, and then all of a sudden, also to my left, there's a field of 18 wheeler trucks that are like parked for other contractors who do um, convoy shipments with the military, with the army, and go from place to place. And all the trucks are just parked out, like a bunch of Optimus Primes out there, right? Those kind of trucks, not with the back, the trailers in the back, the cabs in the back, just the main Optimus Prime. I was about like 20, 30, 50 of them out there, just parked. That's where they were parked. And I'm sitting there, and it's like maybe 100 yards away from me, or maybe less, maybe 50 yards. I got my laundry. I'm waiting to be helped. I'm like the third person in line. Next thing you know, and this is what freaked me out when the news came about Iran attacking Iraq, because like I said, I was in Iraq. That's where our base was at, in the same spot that was hit. I was sitting there in my line, and all of a sudden, boom! To my left, one of the trucks blew up. It just blew up, and I jumped, scared the out of me, man. So when that happened, it was funny. The first thing you scared. The first thing you're thinking of is what do you do and all that. But I mean, I think it happens so often, and you've heard about it happening to people so often. At that point, our selfish ass, the three guys that were in line, we looked at the explosion. We knew that it was about to be the alarm was about to go off, and like I said, when the alarm goes off, everything has to shut down. So the first thing we say to this guy is, "Hurry up, take a fucking ticket so I can get my laundry in because I don't want to have to go all the way back and have to come back here." So he takes the guy in front of me his ticket. Takes the guy in front of me that guy's ticket. Then he gets to me. Takes my ticket. I was the last one in line. He takes my ticket. Takes my clothes. I get my ticket. And then the alarm goes off. There's been an indirect fire attack. It was just stupid how we were only worried about getting our laundry in there. So that was the first time a bomb went off in front of me. One time, in the areas where we, excuse me, in the areas where we sleep, a mortar came in and hit a girl's housing room. It was like little, imagine those 20-foot containers that you see in the back of 18-wheel trucks. They put those together and they made like two-story, like apartment style, like living facilities. It was pretty cool. Put two of them together. You had a shower and a bed and a toilet situation in between it. You know, you have your own private room, and the person next to you has their own private room, but y'all would share a shower. You lock the door, and that lets them know that you're either taking a shit or you're taking a shower. I came home from work. We work 12 hours every day, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. The military got one day off, but we work 7 days uh, a week. But we got paid a lot of money, so don't feel sorry for after work, I came home and it was late at night. It was a lot of commotion going on, man. People were just outside with their flashlights and like, oh my god, what happened? Because there was an indirect fire attack earlier that night, and I didn't know where it landed. By the time everything was back up and running again, I was just walking back to my room. I'm like, I'm ready to go to bed. But right near where I slept was a bunch of people just hanging out, like something happened. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And someone I just asked this guy, and they were like, a mortar came in and landed inside of the room of this one of these ladies, one of the other contractors. It was like a couple of rows away from me. I'm like, what? Did she die? And he's like, no, no. That was the funny thing about it. It didn't blow up. This girl was in her room, sleep, dead sleep. I think she was the other shift. She was knocked out. A mortar was fired from the local, from the I guess the from whoever, and they fired it in, and it went into her room through the roof, crashed through her desk. You had a bed, a desk, a armoire, and a chair. Pretty much, I said, and a nightstand. That's pretty much what they gave. And it crashed. Her bed is like right here, and her bed is like right here, and her and oh man, is it freezing? What the heck is going on? So let me know. Like I said, comment. Let me know if it's freezing or if it's too choppy. If so, I'll stop everything and I'll have to just keep going with the recording. But her bed was right here. Her desk was right here. The thing went through her desk and crashed while she was sleeping. Not that's and just it didn't blow up though. If it would have blown up, she'd have died. They fill that stuff up with shrapnel and all kinds of crazy stuff. You would trust me. You would not nails and all kinds of stuff. Those mortars were that was it. You will be anywhere near those things, you're gonna die. Um, but it didn't blow up. It woke her up, scared the shit out of her, and I don't know. I think the live stream is messing up. Or whoever's watching live, I'm gonna cut it off right here because I think it's going too choppy, and I don't want to mess up the quality of it. So I'm gonna continue on and just pre-record this and just keep going. But I'm gonna stop the live stream. So prepare, guys. I'm gonna come back later with this. So I'm gonna end it right there. So sorry about that. I'm gonna end it off right there. So for the live stream, so just come back later, and I'm gonna finish this whole show out. Well, a couple of times that was the situation that you would face all the time out there, man. There was maybe I should do the show like that from now on. I'm like just go live at a certain point and be like, all right, this is the 10-minute mark, so that's all you get, and then I'm gonna pre-record the rest later. But that'd be a stupid way to do it. I gotta get my what is it called? Live stream capabilities ready. I gotta get a brand new laptop. I need a lot of things, and and that's the thing the reason why I'm reaching out to you guys and trying to talk about the changes that are coming and whatnot, the things that I'm doing. Um, so it's mostly because I just want to show more support and more appreciation. I mean, to the community, you guys. It's everything. What has happened recently with Collider, and we'll get into that later, um, has really opened my eyes to the sense of community that's out there. I'm thankful and grateful to all you guys, man. I mean, like I said, I will respond when you hit me up on Twitter, Facebook. Go to the Talking to the Media's Facebook group if you're not already a part of that. There's a page and a Facebook group. Interact, and dude, you always got access to me. Interact with me on Twitter. You always got access to me. Super chats and stuff like that is always much appreciated. I want to do super chats because and donations. Donate. You can donate if remember not on super chat 24/7. You can do it on Cash App on what is it T3 Medias. So the money sign at T3 Medias and our Patreon's page. And I'm gonna do. Now let me just get into real quick what's about to happen. So I gotta figure out what my tiers are gonna be really for the patrons. I think $50 is gonna be the cap, kind of like what John Campy does. If you do a $50 Patreon deal, it's more than just me answering your question. If you ask a question through that, it's guaranteed. I'm gonna pick comments and whatnot every now and then to just to answer, and I'll answer them. But if you send a super chat, it's gonna be guaranteed. If you do a certain dollar amount, you're going to get access to. Like, I need patrons because I'm trying to do a podcast and things like that, but that costs money to keep on going. To have a coach in is going to cost. It costs money to get that going. So you see, this chair is empty right now. Actually, Joy was supposed to be later. Sometimes you'll see me. I'm going to do some skits where it's just going to be me and me, but it costs money. It's just money I don't have. So I'm making changes. I'm trying to update things. I'm trying to make the show as good as I possibly can for you guys. I take it to heart when you guys send me your feedback and when you say hey, the sound sucked. This sucked. That sucked. The quality was this, and your microphone sucked, and all that stuff. I, if my first reaction is like, man, kiss my no, but I honestly, I take it seriously. I sit there and I'm like, damn, how can I fix this out? The reasons why it's still bad sometimes is because I don't have the money to fix it, and I'm not begging for money. You don't have to send me anything, but if you want to support the channel, you want to throw anything to me, I appreciate it, and I'll do my best to improve everything that I can and make this the most highest quality. But even without that, even if it's coming from my pocket, I'm going to make this. I'm going to try to make the show better and do everything I can to bring you the best quality of it. And I'm going to be real with you. So whatever you guys can do if you want to. If you believe in me, believe Willow. Believe in the words. And then for my Patreon supporters, this is what I'm gonna do. So every episode, I'm gonna now do everything as an episodic episode. But if it's like I said, I was gonna do Wednesday reactions. Thursday is the binge, where I review a TV show, streaming show mostly, but anything on TV, the binge. Um, Fridays when I do movie reviews, and Saturdays is We Got Your Mail. Each one of those from now on is going to be a shooting star episode, but you're gonna get the main stuff that I'm gonna bring for each day. But on the tail end to every episode, there's going to be like a uncensored or like I get raw, get real, and that's when you'll get the full episode, but then you'll get the extended version. So I'll end the show and then but I'll keep it going, and then that full episode, that extended version, you'll get that on the Patreon page, where I just don't hold back and just like if I'm censoring myself now on YouTube, I won't on the extended stuff. So the raw feed, the raw footage, talking to the medias, or it'll be like talking shit to the medias. I guess I don't know. Whatever you guys think I should call it. Just we'll fire in and let me know what you guys think. But definitely there's going to be more extra things that you can get on the because I want to talk with you guys like on a secret level on a like kind of like how I guess some people do like with that Brie Larson stuff. They you got to pay to play for that stuff, but not like that. I'm not one of those guys. But just on a deeper level, more stuff. Like I said, I don't do political stuff, but anything and everything. Stuff that I would normally not talk about on YouTube, I definitely would talk about. And if you send in questions, and if you send in, like, I don't know, whatever advice you want me to do, or advice thing. But technically, it's going to be when the alcohol kicks in. That's the shit you're gonna get. That's the stuff you gotta pay for. So this is Wednesday. It's Reaction Wednesday, and there's a couple of things I want to react to. Number one, at first I was going to do a reaction to this other movie trailer, but I was like, I don't know, a couple days went by on it. It's too late for that. But today, a new trailer for The Boy just dropped, so I will be doing a reaction to that, and I want to continue on going on what's been happening with Collider, because John Campea said that he's going to have Mark on his channel tomorrow, and that's going to be interesting. So let's just keep that going. So I know, thank you guys for watching the videos that I had for like Sinead DeFries, the best host, and my top 5 reasons on why the show went down. You guys have really been showing support on the conversation that me and Jason had, and that's the chair he will be sitting in. Anybody that I have on there will be sitting right there. All right, because it's Wednesday and we do reactions on Wednesday, let's do our first one on Bram's The Boy Part 2. I saw Part 1, excuse me, I saw Part 1. It was alright. It wasn't one of those movies where I was like, I'm going to go back and watch it. But let's knock it out. Let's see what Part 2, let's see if Part 2 can get me going.
So, Jude, I'm home. Jude. Gotcha.
It's fun to be scared sometimes, huh?
Kate. Is she still dating
It's pretty
Jamie Foxx?
I
Who was the girl in the
understand
first
Jude's
one?
behaviors would be upsetting, but I urge you to find a place where he feels safe. I think it will be good for him.
In the first movie, there was no boy. It was a grown-ass man, right?
Look at that.
Is that the same house?
Nice. Come on, Jude.
There's a grown-ass man hiding in the walls. Hey, Jude. Yeah, there's that fucking doll. Didn't they break that doll?
It looks like he was broken before and put back together.
Who's this handsome chap?
Brahms.
How'd you come up with that?
He tells me all sorts of things.
He's still in that house. Yeah, I think he survived, right? He's still in that fucking wall.
Creepy.
Is this your new friend Brahms? What are some of the things you talk about?
The other families he's lived with.
Want to take the doll away from him?
Yes.
It's just a whisper first.
Something is happening to him.
You knew your boy would find him.
Well, that went through the shoulder blade. That went through the shoulder.
Mommy.
I love you.
Or right next to his head or something like that. So I don't get it. So the first one was about it turned out that there was the guy was hiding in like it was like the people in the city, he was hiding in the walls. He was pretending like the dog was alive. Now it's like the doll is actually alive, like they're trying to retcon the first one and just like make I can't even remember. I thought the dude survived. Maybe he died. And maybe now that he's dead, he's actually possessed the doll or something like that. I don't know. I'm not gonna watch it again. You guys gonna have to remind me of that. I'll go to Wikipedia and find out. Maybe he died, and I think he died in the first one, and then he's probably gonna really possess the doll this time, live out his fantasy. Because the first one, he was just like a creepy dude that just likes to pretend the doll was alive, and now it looks like the doll really is like really moving around. I think after Annabelle and Chucky and stuff like that. It's funny how Chucky started this whole really started this whole doll killer doll thing and really made it something huge. Annabelle kind of took the ball, and now I feel like the boy is not even in the same league. Um, I don't know. I'm glad to see Katie Holmes working, but that doesn't interest me in the slightest. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think about that trailer, man? Did you it make you? Are you interested in it? Did that dude die in the first one, or did he survive that? Let me guys comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Answer that question for me. Like I said, just let's just keep talking, guys. Until next time. Just peace on that one. Look now. You guys, like I said, you guys have been helping me out with on my channel. A lot of you guys like what you've been seeing with this whole thing with Collider and stuff. My reactions on it, I appreciate it, and let's just keep that fun going. So let me go back, and I'm gonna set this thing up. So Mark Fernandez, the owner of Collider, after the whole thing with his dude John Hines, whatever the hell that guy's name was, Mark's got to do some damage control. Now this happened yesterday when he dropped his live stream, and I didn't get to watch it all yet. So I watched a little bit of it, and I'm going to watch the whole thing. You know, I might fast forward it to some key parts because I don't got an hour to sit here and listen to this dude based on what John Campea said. Just totally sink. He's not an online talent. He's not as good as me. And so I heard he struggled a little bit. So I feel bad for him on that. But look, before I even start this thing, if I watched this whole thing and you didn't say I reprimand it, even if you just say I just reprimand it, don't do it again. That guy's gotta go. You need to be looking for a new VP or whatever the hell position that dude has, because that was some bull. But based on what John and what Roka and all these guys are saying, you're a guy that's trying to do the right thing, so you don't need a guy like that, messing you up. So let me see what this guy says. And let's just go from there. This is my reaction to Collider Video Town Hall with CEO Mark Fernandez. Oh boy.
Hello. I see there's a lot of folks already in the chat. Thank you very much for showing up. I know a lot of folks are here, like I've been reading, to throw the virtual tomatoes. And
that was fucked up. If you guys were out there.
For that, trust me.
What happened to that Frost dude? I thought he was in charge of Collider.
Few weeks, few months. Today what I want to do is try to,
Let's get real.
Have a dialogue with you guys that have supported us for so long, and also give you a little insight into why I made these decisions, what made these decisions a reality, what my plan is for moving forward, stuff that I'm, to be honest with you, very excited about.
I was happy to find out that he's still that my Collider crush Perry Nimroff is still there, so at least there's that.
Chat with you guys, and I know that there's a lot of anger out there. I mean, obviously, like,
not really. I mean, you gave me one less show. Let me. Somebody criticized me and said, well, you should pause it if you're going to talk. Okay, well, here, motherfucker, pause it. But not really. The anger part. I was struggling with watching it ever since John Campea, and that's it. When Christian Harloff and Mark Ellis left, that was pretty much the nail in the coffin. I was struggling trying to come back and watch this channel. So you canceling any and all the shows just made it quicker. I love Perry Nimroff is still there, and I love her. That's my belt. But she's got her own channel. I can support her there. So I don't need Collider anymore. I didn't start with Collider. It was AMC where I found John Campion on and Movie Talk, and Collider just happened to snag it. Now that it's gone, I can go back to my with just supporting them individually. Superstars. That's where it's at, man. So all right, my bad. Let me just go back.
And there's a lot of anger out there, and rightfully so. Change such as this is very difficult, and I relate to you on that. I have a lot of anger inside myself as well. Anger for
About what?
perhaps, or definitely, now that the proof is in the pudding, making wrong decisions about these shows, about not finding ways.
What does that mean? Wrong decision. Like now you regret canceling it? I mean, if you couldn't afford it, then you couldn't afford it. I mean, you don't owe anybody anything. You put something out and then see if people want to support it. If you can't do it anymore, based on whether or not they're not supported and whatnot, you can try to make a change. You can try to do better, or you can pull the plug. Pull the plug. It was just the way you did it. Like, it's a new year, dude. A new January. Everybody like, here's the 2020. It's over. That was like jarring to people that were waiting for this to come back. And then the asshat of yours doing what he did. That's what made it bad. Let me skip forward, man. Cause I saw some of this. Listened to this. I think I listened to the first 10 minutes, and I stopped. And I was like, I'm gonna do this reaction, but let me just keep skipping forward because I heard that I heard that he verbally didn't do that great. He's not an on camera talent, so we can forgive him for that. I'm not that great either, so but let's find out.
And that was my first introduction to it, and I was very, very impressed with John and what John was able to build. Like he said before, and I'm sure you folks have seen the videos and all that stuff. And
goddamn right, we saw it.
There's possibly some belief out there that I dislike John or anything like that. Nothing could be further from the truth. I have the world of respect for John and what he built. And at the end of the day, I don't know if there's anybody better than John, which is possibly a big reason.
Hire me, bro. I'm here.
He invented a format with Movie Talk that completely redefined the way that people discuss film commentary on YouTube. I remember, and I hope John realizes that I say this with all due respect, and not to give away too many of the secrets behind the curtain, but
it wouldn't be funny if he said something like, John Campion came to work drunk every day. I'm telling you, man. Me and him got into a tickle fight every 5 minutes.
I remember one of the first times I ever met John, he told me that he wanted to build the ESPN of movie news.
I've heard this stuff before. Let me fast forward again because this guy's just going over some stuff we already know.
Still talk about the things that we all love: movies, television, fandom, Star Wars, Marvel, all that cool stuff. But how do we make it unique? Because
this is the parts that I have not seen
in the industry, and with trends, there comes in an influx of competition. And with competition, some people, that's the great thing about a capitalist society, a free market society, that people compete against each other. And some people are better than others. And then you start getting audience loss and stuff like this, So we were faced.
And then you start getting audience losses. So the great thing about capitalism is somebody can take your idea and do it better. Oh, okay. All right. Or what you're admitting is that you letting John go. I wonder what, and any of the time of this reaction, if I've skipped over a key part, timestamp it and tell me about it in the comments and let me know what I missed. Because I don't think I can just sit here for an hour and 13 minutes about listening to this dude talk about some stuff. But let's get to the juicy stuff. So I'm going to do another fast forward and go another couple minutes here. About 5 minutes or so.
A producer on Collider Live.
I know it's going to be taken out of context because I'm starting in the middle of another topic, but
and I were going to do sequels versus the prequels, which was going to be our Star Wars podcast, where I was going to defend the prequels and John was going to defend the sequels. And unfortunately, of course, we never got a chance to do that because of the tragedy that befell on John.
That's probably another thing that
Mark
he got hit
Riley and
on
I
hard. Like,
decided to
don't
take
invoke
on
John Schnipp's name
bring
after
about
he's dead.
World
So
Two.
I was about to give the keys to the
Some
castle to
kind of
John Schnipp.
intention
That
behind
probably
this
pissed a
World
lot of
Two
people off.
show.
Man, don't be talking about
Look,
John.
Mark Riley and I, we
Keep it
met
on the people that
personally
are still
yesterday,
here with us that can respond,
and he's going to be talking
because
about
you
this on
can't
his channel.
prove
So I suggest you go over
any of
there,
this stuff.
continue to support these people, obviously, which is actually one of the little side note, one of the amazing things that's come out of this whole thing is how
Like,
much
me and John were
love and
blood
support
brothers. We loved each
these
other.
folks are
Like,
feeling. I've
he's not
talked to
around
all these
anymore.
folks after the announcements, or a lot of them. Okay, not like I don't want to say all of them because that's not necessarily true, but I've spoken to a lot of them, and they all told me
I
the
like the
same
way he
thing.
corrected
They all told
himself.
me I can't believe how incredibly supportive the fans have been. How much my YouTube channel has grown. Their YouTube channels, not mine. Mine's lost 25,000 subs, as you guys have seen.
Aww, and that was
How
one
much
of them. I,
support they've
look,
gotten,
look.
and
I've unsubscribed. Now, did he just throw himself a pity party right there? What the? I just lost 20,000 subscribers. Nigga, I don't even have 25,000 subscribers. Over here crying and shit. You were able to grow a channel from what 0 to like 600,000 subscribers thanks to the talent that you just got rid of. Now you're like, man, I don't like that. I don't like. So that was probably one of the things you got dinged on. I can already imagine the Collider fans was like, bitch, you over here bitching about 25,000 subscribers. Do you know that I still got 3 subscribers on my fucking channel? I've been talking about movies for 8 years. What the? Spaceball. Fuck you. Dude, the fans can get real relentless. Like, this has become the new Star Wars. Like, Collider, you ruined my childhood. So I bet that went bad. Like, I'm not looking at the live feed. Let me see if I can see it. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see what people are saying. Bring the glasses out real quick. What are people saying while he's talking? Agree or disagree? Let him have his say. Some person defending. You should have addressed this on day one. I would. It was 596 K this morning, 2,000 down already. Sweet Jesus. Why did you cancel shows and let go of people if they brought in ratings? Anything, pictures or posters where John Schnipp should go in his finance. I will continue to watch for your consideration, and that is all Collider offers, in my opinion. Honestly, this decision has clearly hurt your company far more than it could possibly help. Well, we don't know that because we don't know what his plans are in the future. Look, whether you like it or not, everybody. A lot of people are upset, but this is the guy who. This is still the guy who did hire John Schnipp, who knew John Campion, and he knew he was smart enough to do what he did. With no limit, he made a major move. He made a move and he busted. So you got to give him his respect on that.
This makes them feel really good, and it makes me feel really good because it validates my investment into these folks. Because these are truly, 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 truly talented folks. And that's the glorious thing about YouTube. That's the sustainable element of YouTube is, super talented, small operations that can fully sustain themselves, giving you that great content, And,
All right, let me
that
go
great
another 5
content,
minutes. Let me know, like I said, let me know if I missed something right
I
there,
want to do
and then
another
just
one of those
timestamp
times
it
where
and
we
let me
get to
know.
really hang out with John
But I'm
Schnapp.
gonna
And
skip like
John
5
Schnapp,
minutes.
Frank, and I were in Vegas during Las Vegas Comic Con, and we were at the MGM Grand playing blackjack, and we were all having a drink and playing blackjack and gambling, and it was an absolute blast. And then out of the back of the casino, we noticed Cody Hall and Adam Smith walking up to us, and Adam Smith sat down next to us, and I enjoyed one of the most pleasant evenings of my life with Adam. Adam Smith was the technical director here at Collider on Movie Talk, on Jedi Council, on Heroes. There's a machine that we use to switch the cameras. We call it the switcher. There's a technical name for it, but anyway, the switcher.
But
And
I'm
Smith,
just the money. I don't know what the fuck I'm
technically
talking about.
directed every single episode.
The
that
switchboard?
you guys love so much from Movie Talk. Even the ones that weren't getting the views, but the ones that weren't getting the views still had the same effort as the ones that did. And it was Adam Smith. Adam Smith.
You're not giving me the sense that there was a justifiable reason for
and he's a beautiful,
canceling
beautiful
this
person. Shit. And I feel awful about the situation with Adam, but the reality is
loud
that
noise.
the way that I'm going forward.
Very
in terms of
technical.
content creation.
Boo! Somebody wrote unsubscribe. Bye bye, Collider. It's been a ride. It's been rest in peace, Collider.
Listening, he understands.
By Roca. Boycott Collider. Hashtag boycott Collider. Wow.
To the idea of being able to.
Then why fire him?
Work again.
No notice. So wow.
And I hope Adam understands.
Unsubscribe. Unfollow. Later.
So those were the full-time staff that we that unfortunately were let go because of the cancellation of
Deepfakes suck.
Programming, Movie Talk, Jedi Council, Heroes, Collider Live, Rule of Two, Collider Sports.
Let me hear him say this shit.
Stuff. Then I'm just gonna take a second here. Check out the chat.
Wrong move, bro.
I'm seeing here. Okay, this is actually a good question, and I appreciate you guys asking this because it's a fair question, and if you guys aren't involved in the business world per se, maybe this is not something that you're 100% aware of. But I'm seeing a lot of questions here.
The question's like, why the fuck you suck?
The folks and it's a very fair question.
It's a fair question.
Now the reality is that when you're an at-will employee, you don't get notice when you let go, right? Typically, when you quit a job, you give your 2 weeks notice. It doesn't really work the other way around. And like
that must have been the why. Then why did you fire them question?
Folks, to be able to go through the Christmas holiday, as you guys know, we took 3 days extra off from the thing. Like I wanted the folks to.
Now you know why they took the 3 days extra off. You know what? Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy it. Yeah. You're not gonna like that New Year's.
Requirement. It's not even something that can be perceived as, hey, if you don't do this, you're doing the wrong thing. Because trust me, if that was the normal operating standard of saying the way that you treat
I have to. Yeah, that's true. You don't have to give a 2 weeks notice to fire somebody. Like in 2 weeks, I'm firing your ass. That means they got 2 weeks to like burn that motherfucker to the ground. You fire people on a Friday,
right? Some kind of understood
or Monday or something.
Around 2 weeks, I would abide by that. But that's just not the way it works. I've been a business owner and an entrepreneur since I'm 20 years old,
Christian Bale, good for you.
For sure, I've worked for big companies. As some of you know, I worked for Rockstar Games when we were just starting out, and obviously at Complex. But when you let folks go, it's typically day notice. It's typically you let go that day.
All right, let me skip over another 5 minutes.
There's really one.
Let me know if I missed something.
In one beta, but with them, they fought so hard to actually make it co-host. To really be equal contributors and partners on that show. And
we're talking about Collider Live.
We did that for a long time. And Coy also was is the host of Comic Book Shopping. Coy is a freelance contractor here at Collider, and while the regularity of Collider Heroes is no longer present, the reality of Comic Book Shopping is present, and Coy is still the host of that, and he's an incredible host. If you guys haven't watched that show, I suggest you go check it out. You're
not going to get as many views as you were going to have.
We have a ton of lined up guests that we want to bring to that show. And again, to my earlier point, Comic Book Shopping is a uniquely differentiated piece of content that plays to my strength, and I like creating content that is not necessarily in studio, but deals with celebrity lifestyle, deals with like multiple camera shoots and stuff like that, and that's more my strength. That's more the stuff that I used to do at Complex, and that's the kind of stuff that I tried to bring over here. Whether it was right or wrong is just what I'm better at, and it's different. There's not anybody else doing that. Maybe there's a reason nobody else is doing that because it doesn't work, but that's what I enjoy doing. And
the hell are you
these
talking
are the
about,
funnest
bro?
shoots you can imagine, and Christian Ruvalcaba edits this show, and he does a great job with that. Coy.
I'm gonna skip another 5 minutes because I don't know what the fuck this motherfucker talking about.
Heroes, but still hosting comic book shopping. Amy Dallin. Amy, I'll be honest, I don't know Amy as well as I've gotten to know Coy because of comic book shopping.
Because
but Amy,
why don't you know her?
I
don't like her, so I don't know her.
Somebody who's been with us for a while.
I used to work for a dude that would work with a motherfucker for like years, and then when he's about to fire you, he'd have that same damn excuse. I've known you for so long. It's like I've been working with you for so long. It's like I don't even know you because you're not trying to. And that was the bottom line. There's this dude named Brian I used to work for, and he was a broker in real estate. He used to say that same shit, and I found out he said that same thing to everybody. It's like I've been working with you for the past 3 or 4 years, and it's like I don't even know you because you're not trying. You know how many times I say, "Hey, can I join with the group on this and that and the other? Y'all doing this, y'all doing that, and whatnot." And he wouldn't interact. He would not interact. If he felt like you didn't have something that he could instantly exploit on a day-to-day basis, then he wouldn't interact with you. And then that would be the excuse of why he would want you to be gone or want you fired. It's like I don't even know you because you're not fucking trying. You're not trying to build anything here, a relationship or communication, or build on that. Let me go ahead and get 5 minutes because I don't know what this motherfucker talking about. And it's just people like that. So for him to say, I build a relationship with him and then I build a relationship with her and it was the same damn situation, that just means you weren't really trying. It was something, but not saying that that's necessarily your fault. It's just something that it didn't click. But even if it doesn't click, you're still putting it out there. I'm sure it clicked to her. I'm sure she noticed it. Like, damn, y'all fucking golfing and shit, and y'all doing shit every damn day. I noticed it when it was happening to me. Like you and him, y'all going golfing and y'all doing this and then y'all talk to him every day. We're me and him on the same level and stuff, but you don't want to talk to me. Did I say something to offend you? At least say it out loud. Like there's just something. It's just me and him click on a different level. Where like we don't. But when you're the boss, you're afraid to say that because then you don't want you want them to keep working for you, but you don't want them to know 100% the truth and why you don't really like them. Even if all the bullshit and why is really coming from you. So, obviously you just weren't being honest.
Jamie Costa.
Let me know if I've missed anything.
I know a lot of you guys, give us crap about the deep fake stuff, but Jamie Costa is an incredible impressionist and comedian and just actor.
I never watched one of the deep fakes.
Angelica Jackson, Angie Hahn, and of course, last but not least, my brother Star Wars Theory, who we literally will call each other at 2:00 in the morning and talk Star Wars until like 6 in the morning. And so look, I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. If you guys want to stay here, great. If you don't, fair enough. I want to talk about a few more things. I want to talk about the future.
All right, fast forward to that.
And I encourage you to support both of them. But for us to compete in that space directly at them just wasn't smart anymore. And I tried, man. Trust me, I tried.
What did I miss? Let me go back here.
Hello. Wow, I just got some terrible news. A friend of mine. God. Anyway. So look, I'm back. I'm gonna try to get through a few more things about the future. What we're trying.
I think it's like 20 more minutes left into this.
Pick it up for questions and stuff.
No, we'll be skipping most of it.
So,
So let me know anything that I
like I was
missed.
saying before, what we were doing both in our two biggest shows in Movie Talk and Collider Live were really the brainchild of other people that are still doing it, and frankly, we're doing it more effectively than us. With John and his show, and Christian.
At least you know what? At least he's man enough to
These
admit
are
it.
wonderful shows, and I encourage you to
But
support
if you
both
wanted
of them.
to, if you noticed
For
that it
us
was
to
happening
compete
better
in
than
that
you,
space
then you should have gone and mimicked it. You had the
wasn't
name.
smart anymore.
You technically you had the name still, Movie Talk. So it wouldn't have mattered if you would have 100% mimic. People would have noticed it, like, dude, you copying John, and like, da, da, da. It wouldn't have mattered. It would not have mattered because that's what it was originally when John was doing it. You should have called, like, if you would have had three people, Roka, Sinead DeFries as the host, or whatever, Mark Ellis, and you just had three people and you guys just doing it the way John was doing it and just mimicking or doing it with those with that small group on a day to day, just and keeping it focused on the talk. And like I said in my video, my last video, I said that with Mailbag, you should have been taking in super chats and encouraging super chats the way John was doing it. Because even though he was doing it at the level he was doing it with open mic, you had the original name where it came from with Mailbag, and you still can do it. Now, probably not now. Now everybody's pissed off and like, no. But if you would have did it in the moment and just dialed back and like not secretly just, hey, I'm not gonna pay you all on the daily like I was doing, and I gotta do some major like if you would have did some cutbacks on and do more timeshares when people could be on camera, that would have probably been a better move because this happened before in the past. But this jarring complete annihilation, fatality, and then like just boom, and people were like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then they jump ship. I lost 25,000 subscribers. Motherfucker, I don't even have 25,000 subscribers. And you bitching about it. I got less than 3,000 subscribers, and I love each and every one of them. And people who haven't subscribed that will subscribe in the future, you don't have to subscribe. But I appreciate you when you do. And I love each and every one of you and want to talk to all of you. And check me. In the future, check my ass. Check me hard. I want you to double check my ass. Checkmate my ass if I act like this shit with these guys. When they act like, I'm already, like Tyrone and all them motherfuckers. And I hit 1 million. And I don't fuck now. Like, y'all motherfuckers be acting, I said a name. So, I love Tyrone Magnus. But I don't know, man. Lately, you've been acting, since you hit 1 million, you've been acting like, I don't know, you've been acting different. That's just my fucking opinion, man. You know, I don't give a fuck if you mad or not. But look, I'm not gonna act like this. If let me have 1 million subscribers and see how I act. These motherfuckers out here be acting like like you owe me like that, like this dude still. Like I said. Tell me if I missed it, but where is this dude on the apology or saying what's gonna happen to his number 2, the reprimand or something about what happened? Because that's the only reason why I'm like watching this shit. But he hasn't said jack one about that, and I haven't got any answers on what that motherfucker said. That John Campea did the rain on. He acknowledges John Campea, but he ain't gonna talk about this dude. Like it don't make no damn sense.
And I tried, man. Trust me, I tried.
You ain't tried shit so far.
A lot longer than I should have. And you know, I saw John's video, and maybe I made some wrong choices in trying to tinker with it to try to make up the views or find new ways to do it. And he's right. It was never about the talent. You know, Perry Nemiroff is incredible. Mark Ellis is incredible. And these folks brought it every single time. They brought it. Adam Smith behind the Switcher was incredible. You know, the effort behind the shows was incredible. Could I have been better? Yes. Could I have spent thousands of dollars that I needed to do to revamp the audio in my studio? Yes. Could I afford it? No. Should I have made other things happen? You know, you can question and rethink it a million different ways. But ultimately, the reality and the responsibility that I have to deal with is that I couldn't get it, to work. But it's on me. It's definitely on me and not on them.
The only criticism I really have is the fact that you did a complete like if you were gonna shut down shop, then shut it all fucking down. Why are you talking? Perry Nimroff should be doing what you're doing right now. That's the only criticism I have right now. You are obviously not the best communicator. John was right about this. Like having John with you. If you come on the John Campea show tomorrow and talk about this, it might be better. But I'm sorry, I'm pausing shit. But Perry Nimroff should be the one that's really like talking. No, you and Perry Nimroff should be on camera right here, right now, talking about it. Because obviously she's a more familiar face. You probably wouldn't have gotten as much shit as you did doing it by yourself. Maybe you asked Perry Nimroff to come out there and do it with you and bail you out a little bit and help you out. And she was like, "Nah, fuck that, son. No, you don't pay me enough to do that. I'm gonna do the 4-year consideration, but I ain't gonna do the 4-year fucking turn me into a bulletproof vest. Fuck that. Like, no." And I probably would have said the same thing. "No, son. No, I'm not coming on camera with you. No, you don't pay me enough for that. You probably paying me less than you was before." Like I said, if you wanted to do something, you should have just made those changes. If I was you, I would have copied everything John and Christian was doing and just did it. And then people would be like, "Hey, this is motherfucking copying." But we still got the original name. So what? It would have been less of a hit on you, and it might have. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. If you'd have just started copying what John Campea and Christian Harloff and them and Mark Ellis are doing, and having the original names, Jedi Council, Movie Talk, and Heroes, you had the original names. Who cares if you'd have been copying what they did? You had what they were doing. Technically, you're the originator because you had the original dudes who created the format doing it for you first. Well, after AMC, but you bought it so first. So if they left and they continued that working formula, and you decided to take it back and copy it and do it again, technically that working formula was done on your channel first. So you copying John Campea after the fact, technically, is just you taking back what originally worked. Who cares if it was Perry Nimroff hosting it and copying what John Campea is doing or Christian Harloff is doing? It was being done by them on your channel first. People would have complained and said, "Hey, man, you kind of copying John Campea's show." And the Schmoes knows it wouldn't have mattered because you still have the original titles. Movie Talk, Heroes, Jedi Council. You still have those original titles. So it wouldn't have mattered. If anything, it would have been less of an impact of what you're getting right now. Let me fast forward another 5 minutes because
that's why I'm so proud of the work that Jeff Snyder, Perry Nemiroff, and Scott Mantz have done with For Your Consideration, because we're the only ones that can do that. You know, maybe Variety, maybe The Hollywood Reporter, but like we're literally in a unique position to do stuff like that. Now, whether or not it gets crazy amounts of views like the deepfake stuff does, it doesn't. But it sends a very powerful message of why we all love cinema. You know, these discussions with these incredible, incredible artists, the Quentin Tarantinos of the world. 1917.
Now, I'm not going to deny that the whole deepfake thing is probably getting a lot of views. According to him and according to everybody else, it is. But look, just because I don't watch it doesn't mean it's not worth watching. It's just that it wasn't what Movie Talk was. And like I said, if you're going to do a comedy sketch thing, then create something for that. That's what I log into Comedy Central for. That's not what Collider was in the beginning. And it's not what they told me that they were going to do. Now it's like, oh, we're going to do this and do that. Now that's cool once or twice. But if you're going to make it a thing, I never clicked on it once. I was already pulling back already from the beginning. Perry Nimrod, Mark Riley, and all the people, and Roxy and them were the only reasons why I was still trying to force myself to come back. But that deep fake stuff, for me, that's just me. That shit only appealed to like the fandom menace people and people that want to like hate on shit all the time. That's the audience that shit is for. It's a one and done thing, but it's not the niche. It's not what the channel was originally about. So make another channel for that. But like John Campea said, you were only following trends. And like another thing, like he said on the channel, he said like y'all pre-approved the questions that he was gonna ask. I bet you $1 that y'all didn't pre-approve all of them. I know for I believe that you probably didn't. I know you don't like all of the questions he's gonna ask, but you're gonna bite the bullet and you're gonna do it anyway because his channel is on the rise and your channel is now getting hit. And that's 25,000, you know, like cry me a river, I'm a bitch about. I'll tell you right now. You lost more people than subscribers than I had. I just don't like it when privileged motherfuckers. If I had 1 million subscribers and I lost 500,000, I'd be like, damn, man, that's fucked up. But would I get on here and bitch about it the way after, especially after, like if it just happened out of nowhere, then yeah, I bitch about what the fuck happened. Well, fuck you guys, didn't gonna leave me like that. But after what he did, it just sounds like more bitching. Why did you unsubscribe? Nigga, you know why they unsubscribe. You know why. Why are you bitching about it? You know why. You know why I unsubscribe. I love Perry Nimrod. I love Mance. But I'm not gonna subscribe to Collider now. Not at the main thing. Because I can get my Perry fix on her channel. I didn't even know you existed until John Snap said AMC is moving to this thing called Collider. I didn't even know you existed. So I'm gonna go back to that. If there's anything you can do, John and Ken and Christian can do it better. And Perry on her channel can do it better. I love Perry. That's my Collider crush. She will always be my Collider crush. But I won't resubscribe just for her. Unless she personally said, Chris, subscribe now. No. Yes, baby. Bing, bell, and I do it because that's my bell. If my boo told me to subscribe right now, I'd do it. I'm not going to do it. Not right now. So the only way I'm going to resubscribe is if she told me to subscribe. So another 5 minutes. Let's get this over with.
And like, look.
Let me know if I missed anything.
I'm gonna go over to the questions here, and I'm gonna just answer questions.
Wrong move, bro.
And you know, start shooting questions. I'll stay here for a little bit. I actually let me see here. Let me scroll back. Okay, so
he's trying to find a question that ain't insulting him. Why the fuck do you suck? Like skip, and okay, so I can.
And that was my decision. I didn't want to create, you know, a lot of prolonged, you know, goodbyes. You know, I didn't want the goodbye episodes. I wanted to, you know, to move on because it's so painful for me.
Well, wouldn't the funny thing have been that would have been what would have made it easier? I didn't want it, is what he said, but that probably would have been beneficial. I didn't want it. Kind of translates to the fans as I didn't want to pay for it.
rip the Band-Aid off. And, was that a right decision? I don't know. Maybe it was the wrong decision. But
I don't know. I kept the money. I kept the money. I kept the money.
My optimism was like, I know that my personal relationship with a lot of the stars of these shows is not over. And, I have ambition to work with them again and do new content with them again in completely different formats. And
The way they talking, a lot of them don't even want to come back.
Resting my decision on is that I know that it's not the end, that there's more to come with all of them. So that's that question.
Not all of them.
Who else? I'm just looking at the questions here. I'm not seeing a ton of questions. I'm just seeing a lot of
what?
Stuff. I'll give you 5 more minutes for questions.
A lot of stuff. A lot of fuck you. Ooh.
So I addressed the idiotic comments made by Jack Hind earlier in the show, and like I said again,
Well, timestamp that. What did I miss that?
Whatsoever what anybody else in here feels, and discipline will be handled in that situation internally. It's not.
I'm sure he's gonna address that more on John Campia's show.
What the consequences of that are.
He should be fired. Fuck that. I don't give a damn. Look, I don't care how good he is. He might be a genius when it comes to certain things, but he obviously can't be that smart. Because the only thing that's gonna fix it is if he himself comes on channel and be like, "I'm sorry what I said." Look, he'll look right in the camera and be like, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I couldn't cancel that shit like sooner." Like, that's what he seems like he's a perfect comic book villain to throw under the bus. You wanted to really make this a good stream and have this be a good episode, you'd be like, "I fired that motherfucker, and I'm never gonna let a guy like that talk shit and insult the fans like that ever again. And me and you are on this road together." But what I did, I took his head, I ripped it off, and I kicked that motherfucker through the field goal, and I scored a touchdown, and I don't know, and the crowd went wild. It was crazy. Collider for life. Woo! But no, you're like, he's still working for us because he hacked into my phone and he has the nudie pics. So I have to keep him on staff because he can really do some damage. Yeah, he's a crafty little kid. Say what you will, but he knows how to hack into your fucking phones. I wouldn't anger him too much. I don't give a damn. Yeah, like whatever that dude has on you, like you need to man up and just take that hit because he just seems like a shifty ass dude. Like you ain't gonna work with this dude forever, man. Like tell him to hack into my shit. Like, let me make it clear right now. I don't care how successful I get in the future, which I will, and how much money I make in the future. You cannot blackmail. You cannot. I got nudie magazine and nudie pictures of you doing this and that, and I'm gonna embarrass you. I will whip it out on camera live before I let anybody blackmail. I feel like this dude is being blackmailed by him, and that's why he hasn't fired. I'm going to talk about the reprimands and blah, blah, blah. No. Fire him. After something like that, he has to be blackmailing you or something. He must have something on you. Whatever it is, let it go. Well, did you murder somebody? Now, if he has that on you, then I'll be like, all right, whatever you want. Yeah, talk. Speak, motherfucker.
Somebody's asking me why am I so stupid. I've been asking myself that for years.
Why are you reading that shit? That'd be me. I'll be the same way. Chris Fagan, why are you so stupid? Fuck you. That's why.
Sure. Somebody's saying, do I honestly want advice on how I right this ship? I mean, the reality is that we're actually doing extremely well in a lot of our other sides of the business, and I'm very, very proud of that. And that's only because there's so many people that still work here that devote their entire life to the job. I mean, this isn't a job like, hey, let me clock in at 9 and clock out at 6. This is a lifestyle, and that's a big part of working here. It's not a clock in, clock out job. It's a lifestyle job, and that's why. Look, that's why I'm here.
That dude I was
talking
telling you about
this
that
live
that
stream.
I
This
used to
isn't
work for
this
used to
isn't
say
your
that word a
ordinary
lot.
job situation.
Lifestyle. Oh, Brian used to piss me the
And
fuck off.
I feel
Bitch
very, very
ass.
positive and very confident in our future because I know the kind of team that we still have here. I'm looking at your questions, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to sort through all the vitriol and actually try to find some questions we can have a constructive criticism and dialogue here.
Chris
Yes,
Fagan
FYC
writes,
will be
"What the
coming
fuck?"
on, because again, we are unique. That's a unique offering that Collider can give you guys that you can't get in every other or in all the other people that are doing it better than us, right? Like FYC is very unique to us. Scott Mance, Perry Nemiroff, Jeff Snyder. These are titans in the industry. And we'll be bringing you a lot more of that stuff. It's actually.
All right, let me close in
I
on
got to
the
give all the
last
credit to them
minute
because
of
when they
it
first pitched me
because
the idea, I thought it was a really, really cool idea. But after the first season, I wasn't sure that it was working. And
let me just go
able
close.
to come up with the right way to sustain this wonderful, this wonderful slate of programming that you guys are obviously so disappointed by losing. And I'm with you. I'm right there with you on the disappointment level.
No, you're not.
We're still here. We're still strong. I feel very confident that we can weather the storm. We have incredible people here.
The majority of people will not unsubscribe.
Bankrolling.
Like if you, let me put it like this: if YouTube was like, if you're not constantly watching, if you don't watch at least one video every like 3 months or 2 months of the thing that you're subscribed to, we will automatically unsubscribe you on. This motherfucker will probably lose like half or more, not more, of his channel because that's just how I feel. Maybe, and I would probably too. All of us would, because a lot of people have died that are subscribed to a lot of people. A lot of people are, it's just the way it is. Life is like that. So people might not unsubscribe, but they're not necessarily coming back. John Campia, the Schmoes guys, and hopefully someday this channel will have people that let you know I'm still here, I'm still watching you, I'm still alive, I'm right here with you every damn day. Collider is coming to become one of those channels where it's like I'll subscribe and I won't come back for another 3 or 4 or 5 years and shit like that, right? So saying something like we're still standing, we're still strong. You lost 25,000 subscribers. That's an indication that about 50 to 100,000 of your subscribers are hardcore. I would say maybe 50 to 75,000 of your subscribers are like let me see what's gonna happen. If not a little bit more, not a little bit less. But the rest are probably people who are just not paying attention, not who subscribe and just move on. It's love subscribing, or bots, or people who have died. That they will never unsubscribe. They're not. I mean, because your content is already. Let me get rid of this shit because I'm already done. Like pretty much. Your content was telling us this already because you're like, because me and Jason were already saying in the last video that we were still subscribed, but we were struggling to come back. So it's like, are they out there, or are they like me, lazy and just haven't found the will to hit that? But that 25,000 at the time, and I'm sure it's more now. Got to go back. Let me check and see what their subscribers at right now. Collider. Go down there. We're at 590. I think you were well over 600,000. Now you're at 590. I'm pretty sure 100,000, if not more than that, are just like not paying attention, or they're just one of those people they're like, I'll give you a subscribe, and they just never really come back. They don't hit the bell, or they've died since, just not going on YouTube. Some of them are people that probably haven't even logged on the Google or YouTube in a minute, shit like that. So you got a lot of people. You've hit a lot of numbers of people that are probably just not paying attention. Let me put it to you like this. If 100% of your subscribers were alive and paying attention and doing it as hardcore as the number of people that you did lose was doing it to that level, your numbers would be back at the numbers that it was before John Campea joined you. I guarantee it. But a lot of people have died. A lot of people are being born. A lot of people are being given a phone and given the access to log in and shit like that. People are not being able to. You have a lot of hardcore fans that are not able to unsubscribe due to death or just whatever the situation is. That's where a lot of your numbers are probably still standing strong at. Not all of them. I'm not even going to say the majority of them. A good chunk, though. A lot of people just like that. You know how that's probably why YouTube is doing the whole, like, every year they do the whole, like, purge thing. A lot of people ain't paying attention. A lot of people are not capable of unsubscribing. If you're inactive for a certain number of months or whatever, then you probably are automatically unsubscribed. So you should be thankful for that. It looks like you're still successful. You got over over 500,000 subscribers still subscribe. What will that number be tomorrow, the day after, a week from now, a month from now? Maybe it'll be lower, maybe it'll be more. Who knows? It's up to you. My criticism was that you should have done a light, overhaul, like a light, like slowly, fire these people, or just dial back on the exposure on your channel. But you did a straight up rip the Band-Aid off, and now look what happened. Look what happened. Let me know what you guys think, man. That was just crazy, though. I cannot wait to see how John handles it tomorrow. I will be watching that live, and I hope it works out for Collider. I don't wish anybody any ill will or bad. Especially since my Collider crush is still there, Perry is still there, but I'm not gonna. It's gonna take a minute. It'll, like I said, the only way I'm gonna come back is if Perry herself tells me go ahead and subscribe, and then I'll do it. But if she don't tell me herself, I'm not gonna do it. So let me know what you guys think. Besides that, appreciate you guys for watching this episode. I'm sorry about the whole thing with the with how the live feed works. It's just real. I got to get new equipment. Become a supporter. Hit me up on the Patreons. Become a Patreon and help us out on that one if you want. If you think I'm worthy of it. A lot of changes are coming. I'm going to be doing this at a better level. Hopefully, as you guys agree. Hit me up on social medias and all that stuff. T3 Medias. And until next time, guys. Peace.